Hi there everyone, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you for joining me again for another video, and today we're making this card or a variation of it, and this features this stamp set called Comfort and Hope. This is a stamp set that I actually was able to earn as a reward from Stampin' Up, so this actually came to me for free. Just one of the little perks of being a demonstrator. So if you fancy joining my team and becoming one yourself, there are links in the description below. So this is what we're going to aim for today. As I say, we're just going to mix up the ribbon, I think, and maybe bring in one of the other colours. But the main colours that went onto that sample were actually the in colours that we've got at the moment. Okay, so these are the ones that came in June. So I used all of them apart from cinnamon cider, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how it turns out by introducing the cinnamon cider instead of the tuxedo black for Memento, in Memento. So I'll see how that works out, and I think instead of going across the page I'm going to blend in more of a diagonal fashion. So just bringing on a piece of scrap paper and one of my small card layers. So my small card layers measure 3 by 4 3/4. Okay, so that's how I always do those. See a card with a smaller panel on, that will be the measurements I've used. So I'm going to start with Magenta Madness, and I'm going to bring in one of these sponge daubers. These come in packs of 5 in the catalogue. They're really inexpensive. So just light tapping on the ink pad, and I'm just going to go across the middle somewhere here. It will look a bit splodgy to start off with, but we will come back and blend it through again anyway. And with these sponges, I find the more you use them, the better they become. So that's a bit of Magenta Madness. So it's going to be a lot of ink pad opening and closing. Then we're going to bring in Bumblebee, a beautiful new yellow. I'm not a yellow fan generally, but I like this yellow, it's nice. So where those two colours meet, we're going to get a bit of an orangey tone, just fine. And we're going to do it down this side as well. So just blobbing it on, really. There's no real kind of going in little circles a little bit. Okay. And then we've got just Jade. So this will look terrible until it looks fantastic. It's one of them kind of cards. I've just got a piece of scrap here because I don't want to stick my fingers in that damp ink, and you will get finger marks on the project. Okay. If it helps, twist it round. So, oops, let's get a bit closer. Oh, a bit heavy-handed on that one, but it'll come out okay, I'm sure. It is just a background, so I think by the time all the other elements are on, you probably won't notice anyway. And like I say, we need to come back through with the colours and make sure that blending is just as we want it. I don't know why, my Misty Moonlight ink pad is always the one that sticks. There we go, got it. And Misty Moonlight. Beautiful blue, I love this. It's almost, it's got a bit of a grey tone to it. It's just really, really nice. Blends with just Jade, just beautifully. So, I just want it nice and dark in that corner, and then just bringing it into that Jade. Okay. Flip that round and do the same on the other corner. overlapping that jade again, nice and dark in the corner. Okay, so now we're going to go in reverse. We're just going to add the other colours back in. So back to the jade. Pick up the right sponge. Okay. There we are. Lovely. And then bumblebee again. So obviously this is quite a light colour. We're going to put plenty on there. Where the green overlaps, get like this sort of it's really nice mid green. It almost looks like our granny apple green, and then where it overlaps the pink, you've got some orange coming through. So we are getting that kind of classic rainbow effect, if you like, where those colours overlap. And then finally we'll go back to our Magenta Madness. What a great pink, isn't it? It's just a great pink. I did, when I first saw it, I thought surely that's, you know, a bit too close to Melon Mambo, but it's a completely different colour. When you see them side by side, you'll really appreciate that. Okay, fantastic. So that's all that background done. Now there's quite a lot of ink on there that needs to dry. So if you've got time, leave it to air dry for plenty of time. If you haven't, you could blast it with a bit of a heat gun. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to leave that to one side just for a moment. I was going to bring in my heat gun, but I think what happens is my heat gun, if I run it and then switch it off, it's almost like it needs time to cool down. It doesn't switch back on, so when I want to heat emboss, so I'm just going to leave it for now, and then I'll use an embossing buddy and it should be fine. Okay, but what we need to do first, so I've just prepped a card base, my usual card base size. I do need that to scrap again, sorry. And then while that's drying, we're going to add the background elements using our cinnamon cider. So there's this kind of, it's like parky flooring, I guess, isn't it? There's the floorboards. So I'm just going to ink that up really well. So this isn't going to stand out as much on, I don't think. But let's just see. But I think that, oh no, oh, it looks nice, especially because I've overlapped it with the bumblebee. I think that looks really nice. So just above centre on the right, and then below centre on the left, kind of following through with that diagonal feel, and it almost feels like it's continuing. I didn't rotate the stamp, I stamped it in the same orientation. So that's that. Okay, and I think while we've got the ink pad out and while we want that to dry, I'm going to take my sentiment, which is Comfort and Joy. It's the main sentiment in the set, and I've got a 3/4 inch strip of cardstock there that I'm going to use. So same ink, cinnamon cider, just some light tapping on there, and just line up your cardstock on your grid paper. If you haven't got grid paper, use some A4 lined paper or something like that, something that will help you get a reference, and I'm trying to get that something like in the centre of the strip, because I'm going to use isn't that lovely? I do like that cinnamon cider colour. It's brown without being horrible. Brown isn't the most exciting colour, I have to say, but you know, there are nice browns and there are lots of nice browns. I like it. I just like that kind of there's a bit of an orangey undertone to it. I like it. And then we're going to pick up this pick a label punch. So this is definitely a star of the catalogue in my opinion. So I'm going to use this less fancy end. I think it's more suiting the design of the card, and I'm going to make sure that it's lined up at the back so you can see it peeking through there, so you've got an opportunity to make sure it's nice and lined up, which it is. So that's one end, and then we'll do the same with the other end. All the way in, turn it over, just be sure it's lined up, and away it goes. Oh, okay. Nice and simple. Punches are a great tool to have in your stash, especially if you're not in the market for getting any die cutting machines or anything like that. Okie dokie then. Right, so we've tried to give that as long as possible to dry. So I'm going to bring in the swirly stamp that looks like we used to carry metallic thread that we used to be able to add to the backgrounds of our cards for some texture. Well, now we're going to do it virtually. We're going to use this and then heat emboss it, and the stamp set also has these cute little sequin images, which we're going to do the same. On the original card I did that in silver. I'm going to do it in gold this time, just for a bit of variety. So when we heat emboss, we're going to use this Versamark ink, which is a clear sticky ink, which will which the powder will stick to. So I'm going to position this first, just light tapping, just like you would with any other ink pad. It just happens to be clear. Okay, and I'm going to stamp that somewhere like there. Okay, just nice firm pressure, just like you would with anything else. And then we're going to take our little embellishment sequins, and just like I would with my real embellishments, I like groups of 3, so we're going to stick those around there. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in just this tray. Just helps me catch all the pieces and to make sure it doesn't go all over my work table. I forgot to use my anti-static bag, so this is going to be interesting to see whether we get all the whether all the powder will just sort of run off, which I hope it will. So we sprinkle all that on. Looks like you're going to make a great old mess with it. Oh look, see, it's all stuck. So I'm just going to give that a really sharp flick, try and get all those excess speckles off. And I'm going to use a brush on most of that background. In fact, you know what I might do? I'm going to just wipe that off. Just by dusting that powder off, it should have helped take off some of the static, which it has a bit. Okay, so I'm still going to come in with a brush and wipe away a lot of that excess that's come out on there. So that's just happened because there's just so much ink on there, and I've just rubbed that off. So if the cardstock's damp, it's going to hold on to that powder. Okay. Alright, it's not going to be perfect at all, and I've now got embossing powder everywhere. So my tidy tray became a little obsolete there because I had to flick it so hard. Okay, right, I'm going to run my heat tool just down beside me for the moment. When it comes into shot, it will be a little bit loud, so if you've got them turned up, you might want to just turn it down just for a second while I'm heat embossing. Just got it on low power, just so that one, it's less noisy, and it helps get a shinier look. I find if you use the low power, paper's curling as well. That again is because it's still on the damp side, but once you've laid it all up, it'll be fine. Don't know whether you're catching it turn. It's very difficult to show you on camera exactly how it looks in real life. And that's gone all wibbly. Oh, I've missed a bit. Going to just put a couple of blocks on there just for a second before that cools down. Okay, so that's going to go onto a piece of black cardstock which I've already cut, which is just an 1/8 bigger, so 3 1/8 by 4 7/8. That's how big that is. Okay, and that's going to go on just like so. That way up though, not that it matters. Okay, so I'll say if you missed it, I've now got some seal liking it. Goes on really nice. Because it's curled up, I'm putting plenty of adhesive on. Bend that round. Still feel the embossing powder all over my desk. So yeah, the image isn't as crisp with the embossing. I didn't bring it up to show you. So there is all this fleckles and stuff, but actually, do you know what? It doesn't look too bad. I think it kind of adds to the rustic feel of the card actually. It all nice and shiny, lovely. Okay, so on my other sample, we used the black glitter ribbon. I'm going to use this soft suede, what do they call it? Faux suede trim. It's early espresso colour. Sorry, it's suede trim in early espresso. That's what it is. Okay, and I'm going to tack that to the back of card just with some regular tape. Like so. And I'll add our bow detail later. So I'm using the tape because I'm going to be raising it up on dimensionals, so just want to make sure that that's going to stay in place even though I'm going to raise it on dimensionals. And then I've also thought I'd add some of this gold twine as well. So again, we're just going to secure the end there. Wrap this round a couple of times. So that should keep that nice in place. Okay, so we've got the texture and we've got the gold and stuff coming through as well. And then with these excess pieces, which are probably way too long, let's get something in the, just getting them roughly in the middle, and I'm going to tie them in a bow but together to get some different texture going on. So that's ready to go on when we're happy. So I'm not going to stick it on right now until we've positioned the sentiment, which we're going to do in a moment. Right, so ready to assemble then. So let's flip that over and get some dimensionals on the back of there. Okay. Bring in our card base, just a white card base. Okay. Might have looked nice with, rather than the black mat, probably could have used an early espresso mat, which would have brought in the colour from the ribbon. I think it looks fine with the black. It's just another idea that would have toned everything together. Let's see if we can get that straight, shall we? Okay. Okay. So that's that. And then I'm going to have this. So I had it peeking out so that we could still get the texture across there. On this one's come out a little longer than the other one, so I think what we'll do is we'll just pop that onto some dimensionals in the middle. So we've still got the ribbon element popping, featuring. Like so, and then to stick the ribbon element, I'm probably going to go something like that. That looks cool, and we're going to use some glue dots for that. Definitely the best thing for these bows are glue dots, really nice and strong. Okay. So now we can clip off these ends. I think these can probably be a little longer. Without detracting from the sentiment. There we go, everybody. So just for comparison, there's the original one. So here we used the silver embossing and the blending went across the panel, and we used black ink and a black ribbon there. And then with this one we subbed in the cinnamon cider for the textural backgrounds. We blended on a sort of diagonal streak, which actually you can see more of the pink, I guess. So choice is yours. And then we've brought in some more of the brown tones by adding in the early espresso faux suede trim and this gold thing. I think this is from the Forever Greenery combo pack, if I remember rightly. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm going to bob a link in the description to the corresponding blog post, which will have links to all the products. The main products that I featured today: stamp set, the inks, possibly the ribbons, I will link in the description too, which means they'll go straight to the shop. There was also, the host code for this for July is also posted in there as well, so if you do place an order, if you quote that code, you will get an extra little thank you gift from me at the end of the month. As ever, if you could like and subscribe and share this with your friends, anyone who might be interested, I'd love to have them watch too, and hope they can learn something from me. Ways, if you want to join Stampin' Up and join my team, I'll be more than happy to have you come along and join me. Thank you so much, guys, and I hope you have a great day. See you again very soon. Take care. Okay, bye bye.